Now, remember to look at your audience. Speak clearly. And if that makes you nervous, then find something to look at back there on the back wall. Look at a poster or look at the TV. Okay?
Oh, he's an awesome guy, isn't he? So you got you a little makeshift gun there. Were you nervous about giving your speech?
No.
Well, that's good. You got a nice outfit. You look like you were prepared. You think you did a good job?
Yeah.
I was born on October 22nd, 1734. I was born in Homestead, Ole Valley, Berks County, Pennsylvania. My family was great. I was a great hunter. I got my first rifle at 12. I lived on the Pennsylvania frontier. I was homeschooled. I started school when I was 5 and quit school when I was 8. I got my education on my experiences. I had people who get some. I also helped on the war. I traded skins for things the settlers needed. I escaped from Indians and various unprepared wars. I tried to make friends with Indians. Eventually I did. I got training to fight in wars. I served the British military. Later on, I married a lady named Rebecca Bryant. I was a pioneer. I had 10 kids. I died on September 26, 1820. I was 85 when I died.
I chose to be Annie Oakley, but I should have been Ringo Starr.
Why is that?
Well, because I know a lot more about Ringo Starr than I do about Annie Oakley.
You seem to do pretty well in your speech. What made you choose Annie Oakley?
Well, because I don't know. I just did.
You did? Okay. Were you nervous up there?
Kinda.
Well, I like your costume. So, what time period is Annie Oakley from?
She's from like the late 1800s or early 1900s.
What was she famous for?
She was the first American female superstar, and she was really good at shooting.
Hi, I'm Phoebe and Moses, or you probably know me as Annie Oakley. I was born on August 13th, 1860 in the village of North Star in Darke County, Ohio. My parents were the Quakers Susan Wise and Jacob Moses. I was the fifth of 7 children. It was Elizabeth, Mary Jane, Sue Ellen, John, Hulda, and Emily. My dad and sister Mary Jane died of pneumonia. My mother then got a job as a nurse. So John, Hulda, Emily, and I went to live with someone. I went to live at the county poorhouse. The poorhouse owner, Miss Eddington, taught me how to sew. I never learned how to read it or write like my friend Sally, who I met in the poorhouse. Later, I went to live with the wolves, and I ran away from them back to the county poorhouse, where by that time I was 7 or 8, and I went back to my farm when I was 12 or 13, and I taught myself how to use a rifle, but I couldn't bring a rifle, so it didn't print. And then I got a letter from one of my sisters who invited me to Sin City, and after there I had a shooting match and won against a guy named Frank Butler and Francis E. Butler, and won. Then I married him, and we both joined Buffalo Bill's Wild West show. And I traveled around the world and shot. And one time I shot the ashes off a cigarette held by the Prince of Prussia. Then I died when I was 1966 in 1911, and Francis Butler died 18 days later.
Why Elvis Presley?
Because I like his costumes.
Do you like his music?
Yeah.
What other music do you listen to?
The Beatles.
You like the Beatles? That's awesome. What's your favorite Beatles song?
Rocky Raccoon.
That's awesome. So, were you nervous up there?
No.
You seemed to do really well in your speech. You knew what you were talking about. Do you like giving speeches?
Yeah.
Well, you did a really awesome job. Thanks.
My name is Elvis Presley. I was born January 8, 1935. My parents were born in Gladys. Then I moved to Tupelo, Mississippi. Then I moved to Memphis, Tennessee. I went to Humus High School. I always loved to sing. I won my first contest when I was 10. I recorded my first album in Nashville on January 10th, 1956 for a series. I was very famous. I made Priscilla, and we had a daughter named Miss Marie. I made many albums and many movies. I was known as the King of Rock and Roll. I died August 16, 1977. My music still lives on today.
Corbin. And you are?
First, did you want George Washington?
Doesn't matter.
My real name's Corbin.
Okay. So what made you choose George Washington?
Because I love history and he was the first president.
You love history? What other people from history do you love?
Robert E. Lee.
Why is that?
Because I like the Civil War and he's from the South. And he's the most famous general from the South.
And so what made you want to wear cotton?
So I could look like him.
You couldn't find a wig? Well, it looks really good and convincing, so you did a really good job on your speech. Thank you.
Hi, my name is George Washington. I had two older brothers. I was born February 11th, 1737. I love to hunt. I was a general in the army. I drove a ferry I went to math class and I drove a survey in math class. I drove a ferry. I became President of the United States. I designed the American flag and helped lead us to freedom. I had no children. I was part of the Constitutional Congress and I signed the Constitution of Independence. I died in the 1800s.
And what made you choose Abe Lincoln?
He was 16th President of the United States, and he was interesting.
What made you choose him?
I don't know. He led the country back together.
And did you make that hat yourself?
What did you say?
Did you make that hat yourself? Did it take you a long time?
No, not really. About 30 minutes.
What is that beard made of?
It's kind of like
Oh. Well, you look really nice, and you did a really good job on your speech.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Abraham Lincoln. I was born in Hardin County, Kentucky. My parents were Thomas and Nancy Lincoln. I moved to Illinois whenever I was young. My mom died when I was 9. my my dad married Sarah Johnson. So then I was homeschooled. Then I went to military school. Then I went to law school. I love to read. I learned from other people. I married Mary Todd Lincoln. We met in Springfield of 1839. We had 4 kids, only one child that went to adulthood. I was the 16th President of the United States of America. I freed the slaves and brought the country back together. I was killed while watching a play by John Wilkes Booth. And out in Texas.
My name's Connor Campbell.
Who was your speech about?
My speech was about Jackie Robinson.
When did Jackie live? Like when?
He was
Yeah.
born in January 31st, 1919, and he died in October 24th, 1972.
Okay. Were you nervous about giving your speech?
Yeah, it was fun though.
That's good. I'm glad you had fun. Would you give another speech? Do you like doing it?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, thank you.
Hi, my name is Jackie Robinson, the first African American to play Major League Baseball. I was born January 31st, 1919 in Georgia on a farm. I was the youngest. I had 4 brothers and 1 sister. My dad left whenever I was only 1 to see his brother in Texas and never returned. I am the youngest of 6. In 1 year, I moved to California, and I went, and in high school, I made a world record in track. I went to college at UCLA, and was known for all 4 sports I played. I like football the most, but I am best at baseball. Like my brother, I went to the Olympics in 1936 whenever I was only 17. I was a silver medal champion. When I grew up, I was in World War II. I played minor league football. I went to jail twice, once for sitting in a seat restricted for whites only, and once for cussing at my general in the Navy. I worked with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I married a girl named Rachel Robinson and had 2 sons, both named Jackie Jr. and 1 daughter. There's a pack of cards with my life on it. I went to the Hall of Fame. I also made different speeches. I'm the third best baseball player in the world. I had a .295 batting average. I was the first black baseball player in the major leagues. I went to 1 World Series. I died October 24th, 1972, whenever I was only 51.
When did she live? When was she born? When did she die?
I don't know when she died, but I know when she was born, February 15th, 1820.
So did you practice pretty hard for this speech? Like, did you have to go home and memorize it all?
Yes. Yes.
Were you really nervous about doing your speech?
Very.
Well, do you like doing speeches?
No.
So you don't plan on doing another speech then?
Well, I have to, but another time.
4-H.
All right, well, thank you.
I was born. My name is Susan Von Walensky, and I'm going to tell you about my life. I was born February 15th, 1820, in Adams, Massachusetts. I have 5 sisters and 2 brothers. I was only 3 when I was able to read and write. I lived a very poor life. I worked in a mill at the age 7. At the age 16, I collected 2 boxes, edition, opposing slavery. At 19, I became a teacher. In my adult life, I did many things. I was never married. I quit teaching in 1839. I took an important role in the New York anti-slavery in the era before the Civil War. I fought against slavery.
Kelsey.
What was the character you chose?
Abigail Adams.
What did she do?
Her husband was the president, and so was her son. And she was the first lady.
And what made you choose her?
Well, she just seemed really interesting since she has 2 family members that are presidents.
And what was your favorite part of doing the speech?
My favorite part of the speech? Well, I don't really know. I just liked all of it.
I like your costume. Where'd you get it?
My great-grandmother from Japan sewed it.
Wow, that's awesome, Japan. Well, thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Abigail Adams. I was born on November 11, 1744 in a church in Weymouth, Massachusetts. My parents were William and Elizabeth Quincy Smith. I have 1 younger brother and 2 older sisters. I was homeschooled because I was not considered healthy enough for formal schooling. I married John Adams on October 25th, 1764, and had 6 children. My husband was Vice President of George Washington, and then was the 2nd President of the United States. And my son, John Quincy Adams, was the 6th President. When my husband was President, I was the First Lady. My daughter, Abigail, died in 1813 of breast cancer. I died on October 28, 1818, of typhoid fever, 7 years before my son became president. I was 73, exactly 2 weeks shy of my 74th birthday. My last words were, "Do not grieve, my friend, my dearest friend. I am ready to go, and John, it will not be long." When I died, I was put on $10 gold coins. They were released on June 19, 2007. On the back of my coins, it said my most famous letter to John Adams.
My name's Autumn.
And what character are you?
Clara Barton.
What did she do?
She was a nurse for wounded soldiers.
And what time period was this around?
Like the late 18s and 19s.
And what made you choose her?
Well, she sounded kind of interesting to me because my aunt's a nurse and my mom works in a lab, and I've always wanted to be a little doctor.
That's awesome. So do you enjoy giving speeches?
I really never took in a speech but this one. So
Does it make you nervous?
yes, it made me very nervous.
Well, you did a very good job. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Clara Barton. I was born on December 25th, 1821. My parents' names were Stephen and Sarah Barton. My family and I were very poor. I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters. I used to be very shy, and I am the youngest child in my family. I live in Oxford, Massachusetts, USA. When I was young, my father died. I was very close to my
to a private school. I learned a lot about history. Everybody in my family helped with all my schoolwork. I missed 2 years of school. One of my brothers, David, climbed onto a barn that was not built halfway. He fell off and he was kind of nauseous. Since David fell off, he was really nauseous. David was really proud of me. When I grew up, I became a teacher. I loved being a teacher. I loved being with all of my students. Then I became a humanitarian. Sometimes I would help people I did not know. Then I once gave a speech to the president. I nursed my friends, family, and pets. I was a nurse when I was a kid. People would come around the block just so they could know what was wrong with their pets. I saved my own brother's life and my friends. I was building a nice warm fire when someone was knocking on my classroom door. I looked outside and I saw a cold, hungry old man. I looked a sick man in my classroom. So I gave him my breakfast. I wasn't going to eat it anyway. I died on April 10th, 1972. I was 19 and a half.
Awesome. What made you choose Jeff Gordon?
Because all the championships is when I'm racing.
Do you watch a lot of NASCAR?
Not much, but I've watched it.
Your parents like NASCAR?
My dad watches it sometimes. I don't know if he likes it that much though.
So where did you get that costume?
A friend let me borrow it.
So,
My grandma got the Zelda book and it showed
you like giving speeches?
kind of.
Are you nervous? Well, you did a really good job on your speech, and I like your costume. So thank you very much.
My name is Jeff Gordon. I'm a NASCAR driver. My number is 24. I was born in Pittsburgh, Indianapolis. I had my first race when I was 5. That's when I started on the race. I was raised in California. I went to Tri-West High. I didn't go to college, but I went straight to racing. I had a trainer for help. I watched other racers and read books to gain information on how to race. My first NASCAR race was in 1989 in Atlanta, Georgia. My first wreck was with my coworker. I injured my arm. I won 82 races out of 428. Then I won the Winston Cup 3 times with lots of practice. I won 5 top 10s and 3 poles. Through my success in winning, I started a foundation for sick kids. When I'm not racing, I enjoy spending time with my wife and daughter.
Carlton.
Who was your speech about, Carlton?
Tony Hawk.
Oh, Tony Hawk. He's awesome, isn't he? He's skateboarding, doing all them tricks and everything. Can you do any of them tricks?
No,
Oh, alright. So why did you choose Tony Hawk?
because I love skateboarding.
Oh, so you plan on getting really good at skateboarding?
Kind of.
Alright. Were you nervous about your speech?
Yeah.
Oh, well, do you think you did a good job?
No.
I see. Well, hopefully you did. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tony Hawk. I was born on 1968 in San Diego, California. My mom and dad are Frank and Nancy Hawk. My brother was Steve. I've got my first banana board when I was 12. I started skateboarding when I was 12. I went to Junior San Antonio Elementary and IDK High School. I was married to Susan Hawk. I had a divorce. I had 3 kids, and I answered the telephone to stand up to cancel telephone. And I am still living right now.
Hi, my name is Betsy Ross, and I'm famous for making the first American flag. Let me tell you the whole story. I was born on January 1st of 1752. My parents were Samuel and Rebecca Griscom. I was the 8th out of 17 children. Me and my brother Benjamin Franklin and his picture shop when we were young. I went to school at a Quakers public school. I learned to sew with my great Aunt Sarah, and I just loved to sew. I was apprenticed to an upholsterer named William Webster, and I married 3 people, John Ross, Joseph Ashburn, and John Claypool. I had 7 children. One day, 3 people came to my shop and gave me the design for the American flag. They were George Washington, George Ross, and Robert Morris. I changed the flag by a little bit. I made the 6-pointed stars 5-pointed, and I made the flag more rectangular than square. After I was done, George Washington was pleased, and they glued in the Revolutionary War. I died on January 30th, 1836.
Everything.
What made you choose Sacagawea?
Well, she was interesting and she did a lot of stuff that was cool. And
What kind of stuff?
well, she let Lewis and Clark in their expedition and she got her face on a $7 coin.
That's awesome. So, where did you get that costume of yours? It's very flashy.
My nana got it for me at the Halloween store.
Are you going to wear that for Halloween? Well, thank you very much. You look really nice. Good job.
My name is Sacagawea. I was born in 1788 in the Lime River Valley with my mom, dad, and brother. My mom taught me a lot about nature and how to make baskets and blankets with deerskin pelts. My brother taught me how to hunt, and I learned a lot from my tribe. When I was 12, I got kidnapped by the Adazi tribe. Later on, my mom gave me a horse and I named her Star. When I was 17, I got married to a French servant, and later on I had a baby named Tom. I got hired by Lewis and Clark to lead them on their expedition, and I did. It was hard work, but I did not give up. On December 12th, 1812, I died of a sick illness. I was born on June 10th, 1982. My parents is Jack and Patricia. I've been here ice skating when I was 6. When I was 14, I won both U.S. World Championships. I was the youngest girl to win the championship. She won the gold medal in 1998 and 1989. Once he suffered a hip injury in practice. Due to more injuries, I now don't perform anymore. Now I dedicate my time to helping children.
Haley Parker,
And who did you portray today?
Molly Picture.
What did she do?
I don't know.
What made you choose her?
Because I like that book.
All right. Thank you.
My name is my picture. And I have parents named Gretchen and John. I have a sheep. My sheep's name is Blossom. I have a cow.
Caitlin.
And who was your speech about?
Sacagawea.
When did Sacagawea live?
What do you mean?
Like, when was she born and when did she die?
1788, and she died on December 12th, 1812, age 24.
Did you do a lot of research for your speech? Like, get on the computer and look everything up?
Yes.
Were you really nervous about giving your speech?
No.
So do you think you did a really good job giving your speech?
Yes.
Well, that's good. Do you want to do another speech?
Maybe.
All right, well, thank you.
Hi, my name is Sacagawea. I was born in 1788 in High River Valley. I was kidnapped by the Hadatis when I was 12. I have one brother. My nickname is Janie. I learned from the Shoshone and the white settlers. My brother taught me all about nature, and the white settlers taught me English. I married a Chardonnay. I had one son. We call him Paul. My job is to be a mother, and my other job is to be a scout. I led Lewis and Clark on their expedition. I found a route to the Pacific Ocean. I gave birth to another child. I helped make a relationship with the white settlers and the Indians. On May 14th, 1805, I rescued items that had fallen out of a capsized boat. Everybody thought my husband was dead, so they gave formal custody to Clark around 1813, but my husband lived to be 80. My name means bird woman. The United States ships were honored in the United States ships were in my honor. I died around Butterfield season. I died December 12, 1812, age 24.
Logan.
Who was your speech about, Logan?
Jeff Gordon.
Oh, awesome. Were you nervous?
Yeah.
Are you still kind of nervous?
Yeah.
All right, well, it's all right. You think you did a good job?
No.
All right, well, hopefully you did. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jeff Michael Gordon. I was born on August 4th, 1471 in Vallejo, California. I was raised in Pittsburgh, Indiana. I started racing at the age of 4. I raced BMX bikes and then moved on to midget cars at 7. My mom didn't let me move any further until I was 12. I moved on to sprint cars and wrecked my 3rd race. My contributions are I built a foundation for sick kids and a foundation for athletes. I won 82 races in my career so far. I've had 486 races in my career in all. In 1995, I won my first NASCAR Winston Cup championship. In 1998, I tied Richard Petty's record of 13 wins in a single season. I became the 3rd driver to win 4 championships in NASCAR history, second only to Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt, who won 7 times each. Jeff Gordon still races today. I was born June 15, 1927. And Pinewood Woods in Georgia. I have one wood and one city. I grew up in a Pinewood of Pinewood tree family.